Hi everybody, this is number 3. I've been trying this video like a few times now. Anyway, okay, hi, my name is Joshua Davis. Most of you won't know me, but that's great. Let me into the picture, please. Alright, anyway, so I used to do a libertarian opinion show called The Currency of Democracy, and that lasted for about 3 or 4 years. I want to say 4 years. So in that time span, you would see me go from minarchist to an anarchist. All the while, I'm still a libertarian. I believe that in the non-aggression principle and property rights. Anyway, I want to expand on that in this video because I think there's a lot of confusion, misconceptions. Speaking of that, I just came up with another point. Alright, so anyway, I want to start this with where do rights come from? And we've all been talking about this and belaboring this point. Some don't believe that it can exist, or rights can exist, or some do believe they must exist, and I'm one of those that they must exist because it's evidenced in nature. So rights, they come from property. What is property? Property is just exclusive use over a certain thing. So you have dominion over this object. Okay, so rights. You have the right to self-defense. Oh, excuse me, I didn't even go over the most basic point. The point I'm trying to make here is that property even comes from yourself. You are the most basic property of yourself, or for you. You own yourself is what I'm trying to say. I can move my hands. I have exclusive use of these hands. Nobody has any force for these hands except for myself. My ideas are my own. My thoughts are my own. I have exclusive use over my ideas. So, property, they exist. It exists. It comes from you, okay? Now, in order to gain control of an object outside of yourself, you either have to work to create this object so that, you know, like milk and coffee makes better coffee or whatever, you know what I mean? So you make coffee, okay? Or you buy the coffee. So there is trade, or a gift at that. Or you make it. Or you already had it because it comes from yourself. So that's property, okay? And so we need to understand the use of force in order to have liberty, because otherwise you're taking liberty by force, which means that there's no consent, there's no permission. It's just taken, and that's a violation of liberty. We all know that. It's a violation of liberty. Or there's just the right of might, and there's but that's still a right. Some people, all I'm trying to say is there are lines drawn in the sand. It's set in stone. You know what I'm saying? It's from property, because otherwise we will have chaos in anarchy, and that's not what we're trying to get. We're trying to get peace here. We know that the state is force, that the state is immoral. I'm sorry, some people don't even buy morals. I'm not going to go there. I'm saying that with non-aggression and property rights, we have lines drawn in the sand, and we will be able to have liberty. Because otherwise we'll just have positive law with states, and we don't want that. Now, I also want to make an analogy, because not only humans have rights, animals do as well. I will make this abundantly clear. Animals have rights. Bears, when they go into a cave, that's their property. It's their exclusive use over that cave, because he will defend that cave. Birds, they create a nest. They create property. That's their nest. You know enough not to touch that nest because it's wrong. Okay? So yes, they have rights. And people that deny that, you know, animals don't have rights, that's bullshit. If you understand liberty, or if you understand the non-aggression principle, excuse me, you know that they have rights. Okay? It's not a denial of our own right to go ahead and eat a cow or whatever. Why? Because we are animals and we have to eat as well. That's where our food system comes into play. That's where our economics comes into play. So yes, it's not a denial of right to them. Leave them alone if you're not going to respect our... Excuse me, if you don't respect them, that's where all of this comes in, really, is respect. If you don't respect a bird to, you know, just chill out, you know, on a tree, then you violated liberty, really. If you don't, I'm being really honest here, if you don't respect an ant to have an anthill, that's stupid, okay? And I will go as far to say that extermination on a piece of your own property is probably wrong. You can kick them out. You can. Because this is your exclusive use over your own property. But going over the top and killing them is wrong. It's immoral. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Well, killing without a reason, like a good enough reason, you know, this is where respect comes in. This is why people have problems with just making a rug out of bear skin. I have a problem with that as well. That's stupid. If you're going to eat the bear because you need to survive, that's something else. Anyway, this is why I like Indian tribes. The idea of just respect. It's just respect. That's what property rights are all about. That's what the line in the sand is for. Anyway, so there's nothing to fear about the non-aggression principle. There's nothing to fear about that thing. And I want to touch upon money. Money, it was created by the market, and the market is a good thing because it makes our transactions faster. So we live in luxury in capitalism. That's a wonderful thing, okay? Because otherwise we'd be really backtracking big time. Businesses are a good thing. I'm not saying that corporations are a good thing. Understand that. There is a difference between corporatism and capitalism. If you have capitalism, it's just about tools. It's about creating a better life for man as a whole. And, excuse me, just to make things clear, humanity. There is a wonderful thing, though, when it comes to community and the market. It's the same thing. The market is just people trading. That's all it is. That's why currency is not to be feared. The one we have right now, fiat currency, is a big deal, big problem. created by the state. That's where the problem comes from. But Bitcoin, it was created by two guys at a computer. That's it. You know, they're not. Yes, they want a profit off of it, but there's nothing to fear about profit. That's how life continues. Because if you didn't profit, then you wouldn't be able to eat. If you think about this, because in order to the reason why we have money is to be compensated generally. You know, you want to create a currency that is tangible, that is divisible, that kind of thing. I'm sure we all know, you know, the properties of money. So economics is nothing to be feared. It should be studied. It should be learned. The reason why it is so important. The reason why money is so important. The reason why these aren't fears. It quells our fears. Our fear perpetuates the state, while our wants perpetuate the market and quell our fears. You know, like, and that's, I guess that's where I should be going, is the government, I'm sorry, this, our fears drive the state and drive our fears. So that's a vicious cycle that needs to end, while the market is something that quells our fears. Yes, we have fears. Yes, we don't want to be, you know, starving or whatever. But that's why we work, so that we can eat, so that we can survive. And the market provides even more than that, while the state creates more crap. That's the difference here. That's why I have a big problem with fearing the market and fearing currency. There's nothing to fear about regular currency. Gold and silver, it came from our earth, which everyone loves. Everyone loves the land. Everyone loves the earth in general. It's a part of science. It's elemental even. Gold and silver are elemental. There's nothing to fear about that. So anyway, I hope I went over this well enough. I feel like I'm missing some points here. But I guess the major point I'm trying to make here is respect over other emotions, actually. This is what I missed, is anything that's emotional should be left out of this argument, all of these arguments. Because what we're trying to drive at is an improvement over the concept, an improvement over the understanding of the concept, excuse me. So we don't want to, so I always go back to my biggest virtue is respect. And that's why I know that property rights exist, because it's evidence in nature, and it's always evidenced in us. Because whenever you use the term I, that's acknowledgement of property. Whenever you, and we're all in search of the truth here, and I love that, and that's what we're looking for here. We need to search for the truth, and our goal should be respect. If I am wrong about any point, please hit me up, and thank you for your time.